Oh man, beautiful day outside. You can literally hear the wind. It was actually nice and hot a little earlier. Now it's getting a little bit of windy, but it's a really nice temperature here in Maryland. Anyway, I'm coming to y'all making another video. Like I said, every week I'm gonna try to do a more personal video, more like a homey type of video. If you already know, I used to do these type of videos when a couple of years ago, earlier in my channel, and now I'm stepping it up. Y'all see me in the studio, but you know, let's not talk about that. So basically, this video is about how to scout series. Now, the first one that I did was how to scout wide receivers, and that was kind of part in the first video that we put out from our studio was some of the top wide receiver prospect. So now we're going to get into the linebackers. Yes, we're going to finally do the linebackers. We actually, me and Maniac Ray put out a linebacker video earlier this week on a Monday, so please check that video out. Basically, who were the top ranking linebackers. It was a video that we actually was going to do the week before, but some stuff had happened. We like ran over the time that we was supposed to be scheduled for, so we never got a chance to actually do it. But anyway, without further ado, how to scout linebackers. So number one of the biggest things that I look at when I'm scouting a linebacker, and just like in a wide receiver prospect of how to scout wide receivers, I look at 5 major categories, 5 traits that a linebacker needs to succeed in the NFL right now. It's not something that a linebacker needs to succeed like through the NFL, through the history, and not what has happened in the past, but we're talking about what the NFL has come to right now. And one of the biggest things is going to be athleticism and speed. Those are 2 traits that I kind of put together, but sometimes I will make it separate. More the athleticism, I make it a little bit separate. I make it as something to where it's a trait, but it's more of a trait for. And if you're really fast, that doesn't mean you're athletic, because you can be really fast, straight line, but you don't have that natural quickness, or your hips don't turn as easily as you would want a linebacker in this generation to be. So athleticism is like one of those extra things that I put in there. Just like I would say with a wide receiver, the video I did before, size. So if you're like 6'4", that's like one of those extra little things that you put in there if they already have the hands and speed and stuff. But coming to linebacker, speed is one of the biggest things. Just like I think it's for most positions, speed is going to be a huge thing. Being able to keep up, being able to try to keep up with these faster tight ends, sometimes even receivers, and definitely these fast running backs that come out of the backfield. One of the second things is obvious. The most obvious thing is tackling. You know, tackling has to be one of the biggest things. It's the core of what a linebacker is. It's one of those things of, if you can't do that, you can't be a linebacker. It's just one of the most normal things that you have to go through as a linebacker, is the tackling thing. That's the biggest thing that you have to look at. A third trait, one of the third traits that I think that a linebacker needs to have in the NFL for this generation right now. I got my son looking at me. Wish I could turn the camera. There you go. Walking away. Well, anyway, one of the third things is definitely instincts. Instincts is one of the biggest things that a linebacker needs to have. I mean, it's one of the simple things of like, it's one of the cores. It's for instincts is like route running to a receiver. It's not the most, it's an important thing. It's not the most important, but it's like route running to a receiver. It's literally, it's one of those things is that it's hard to kind of be good in the league if you don't have the instincts. And like I said, with tackling, that's like wide receiver with good hands, how they can catch. It's literally the top need. It's the thing that you literally need to know how to do and actually be good at to succeed in the league. All right, so we went through speed, we went through tackling, we went through instincts. So what else is there? Well, taking on blocks. Taking on blocks is a huge thing for me. And the reason why taking on blocks is a huge thing is when the defensive tackles or defensive linemen are not able to hold their own blocks, or they get blocked one-on-one, there's always an extra one or two guys, whether it's a guard, tackle, center, or fullback, that will get to the linebacker, which at that point, a linebacker has to be able to stack and hold their own or shed. They have to be able to do that. If you can't do that in the league, guys can get away with it, but it's still one of those traits is that when a guy is good at it, they become more of a complete linebacker. To me, it's one of the top things that another one of the 5 traits of top things that you need to have. It's being able to shed and pull guys or whatever. It's like I said, it's something that you don't need, but it's something that will really put you in that upper echelon. It's like being able to get yak yards as a receiver. That's where you can compare it to, where you definitely don't have to be a yak guy as a receiver. But it's one of those traits where if you're not, if you're not a yak guy, then it's going to be hard to be the upper echelon guy. So for a linebacker, if you can't attack and shed, it's going to be pretty hard for you to become a really, really good linebacker within the NFL for at least this generation. So as we go through, and I said speed, I said instincts, I said tackling, I said shedding blocks. Athleticism is kind of it's more of a whole thing of where a guy, it's more of it's not one of the 5 traits, but it's like that extra thing. The size, like even just the size for a linebacker, it's one of those things that actually doesn't matter, because you got guys that can be 6'1", 6 foot, and be pretty long and be able to still do the things that they need to do. But one of the biggest things that linebackers for this generation have to be able to do, besides these main 4 things, it's this one thing, it's this extra thing that has become what the new generation puts out there. And that is man-to-man cover skills on tight ends and running backs. Coverage. One of the biggest things that linebackers have to do in today's age is cover. Why is it the biggest thing? Why is that something that a linebacker literally have to be able to do? Why? A linebacker has to be able to do that particular thing when you're talking about an off-the-ball linebacker, because the first 4 things that I named explains what a 2-down linebacker is. That 5th thing is what separates the 2-down linebacker to the 3-down linebacker. Covering is that huge thing that every linebacker needs to have. That's why in today's age, you see a lot of guys that are coming out and they're smaller than what the guys used to be back in the day. Honestly, linebackers used to get drafted within the first, just drafted period. And these guys, if you were 240, you were considered too small at one point. Or it's not like you was too small, but it was kind of more of, well, you need to gain some weight. They wanted linebackers at 250, 260, and sometimes even 270. There have been linebackers that weighed 270 pounds. There have been. So you got guys that are at this type of particular weight, and they're big. These guys are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and they're that big. Now, today's age, you're looking at the 6'2", 240-pound athlete. That's the main attraction that everybody wants. It's what has come of age is a new generation where the former strong safeties are now linebackers. The linebackers are now defensive ends. Some of the former defensive ends are now defensive tackles, and the rest are laid to waste. It has become that. Even free safeties have to be just as fast and as quick and as loose and athletic as corners. This is the new age of the NFL. But when I look at the linebackers and how to scout them, those will be the 5 main things that you need, or that you need to look at when you're scouting a linebacker. Speed / athleticism, instincts, tackling, shedding blocks, and coverage ability. Those are the main things. So anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe, please hit that like button, and please comment, because I love to talk to people on YouTube. I love to see all the love that I can get. I don't get as much love, but I'm trying here. I'm trying to make the good videos. I'm trying to put out great content. And I'm just happy that I'm alive and that I'm able to see this beautiful day and I'm able to put this video out there for y'all. So thank you. I love you guys. Peace.